Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Anambra. My name is Chidima Oranwa. Like always, we are starting the show this morning with stories making the headlines on ABS website and also national dailies. And we have reviewers with us this morning in the building, but you'll get to meet them after this short break. You're welcome back. It's the press review on Good Morning Anambra this morning, and we have with us this morning Tony Chibo. He is a public affairs analyst. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you, viewers.
All right. We also have Emeka Ezekwe, a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Emeka.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Press Review. And quickly, we'll start with the stories on ABS website. The big story there. The first story, rather, is Saludo seeks strategic partnership with the international community and donor agencies. Anambra State Physical Planning Board debunks allegation of seeking inducement from land developer. Anambra State government asks media to sensitize citizens on civic responsibility of paying tax and levies. Anambra State government restates ban on touting as tricycle operators held peaceful demonstration in Awka. All right, these are what we have on ABS website this morning. Let's start with you, Tony.
Yeah. His Excellency Governor Saludo's vision to reach out to international community and donor agencies represent one of the best options available to him. There are so many donor agencies, contributing to human development, and what governments need to do, present government of Anambra, is to set up a bureau that we harness. We look at these agencies, look at what they need, the criteria to qualify for the funds they have that are free funds, and then tap into them, pay the counterpart funding, and take maximum advantage. It's unfortunate that former Governor Obiano, broke the cord between Anambra and international donor agencies and set us back a little bit, but I think he can reignite it and then begin to take advantage of those funds that are out there in the situation we are in today. We don't have too much money to do, the luxury of money to do the things that government wants to do. So I think it's in the right direction.
All right, over to you, Emeka. Let's also look at the story there. Anambra State government received ban on touting as tricycle operators held peaceful protests in Awka.
You see, there is need for us in this state to have a sanity. I don't know the grouse of the tricycle operators. If they are meant to pay some levies to government, that is in order, because they are operating on the facilities, on the infrastructure provided by the government, the roads and parks and stuff like that. But what may be out of place is when touts, now take responsibility of collecting what is due to government, for themselves. And in so doing, it becomes a misnomer, so to speak. And the money that is supposed to go to government for development goes to individual pockets, and that is wrong. There is need for us to have some sanity. People should not be laws unto themselves and take laws into their hands. Let us be a model. Let everybody, do the right thing, and the state will be, a nice one.
All right, quickly, let's go back to the first paper under review this morning, and that happens to be the Daily Sun newspaper with the big story there. More trouble for APC over Muslim ticket. Can PFN speed far? No regrets over choice, says APC Chair Adamu. Muslim, Christian ticket difficult, slippery area, Kumoyi. PVC, increased registration centers in Southeast, group tells INEC. Youth march in Lagos demands enrollment. Strike, president does not sign collective bargaining agreement. Federal government replies ASU. Take decisive action. Stop blame game. PDP women leader tells Buhari. Investment in education pays best dividend. Article. Police arrest suspected Kuje prison escapee in Ogun. Oshun Gilba, Oyetola has done well, deserves re-election. Kalo, APC, PDP, AA, 10 others sign peace pact. And then flood kills 7 in Lagos. Auto crash claims 4 in Ondo. 5 feared killed by herdsmen in Benue. How 16 passengers from one family died in Lagos boat mishap. These and many more are what we have in front of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. Tony, would you like to start with the big story?
Yes.
Okay.
Every campaign organization faces choices before them that will make or mar their chances at the general elections. And the APC candidate is in one of those straitjackets now. He was instrumental, in fact played a very critical role in getting Buhari elected in 2015. And after 7 years, all of us are paying the price. So he wants to compound an already compounded situation by being so insensitive to take another Muslim as his running mate. Is sensitive to the multicultural nature of the Nigerian nation. Is sensitive to especially Christians in the northern part of Nigeria. These Christians seem to be overshadowed by their cousins, the Muslim Brotherhood. But they are there, and they are in great numbers. And I think it presents an opportunity for the voters to punish the candidate accordingly. And we thank God they have choices. It's not the only choice. So because they have choices, I am persuaded that those choices will give the voters the platform to punish that impunity by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, candidate of the APC.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and your location. Go ahead, George. Yeah, go ahead.
On Apple strike. By education day. Agreement. Captain Mara Bobidao. I look at a new Ulema, Rob Macana, we were on our call. One sign an agreement can make not of that 1-on-1. About his resident the vehicle. The book under them will be in the not one person. Can none of us be one in one? Now, President Borma, what I do. Then I want to go meeting, let's start off the politics. I'm not going to money. When you have to, in depth, you have one love in the world, like you in Nigeria. Everybody knows. You don't know yet, when you get out of water.
All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You've made your point. Thank you so much.
Chidima, let me dwell a little on this Muslim ticket. You see, they always say that politicians always think of the next election. And statesmen think of the next generation. I think APC, in their wisdom, made a choice to go Muslim. And, some of them are strategists. And when we think of planning politically in this country, you can't take it away from the North. After the North comes the Southwest. We, the Southeasterners, we are down the ladder. I think that because the Northern Muslim, especially the Northwest and Northeast Muslims, don't regard the Yoruba Muslim. They regard him as a nominal Muslim. They don't believe they are as ardent as the Muslims from the North. And they may have thought that, choosing a Christian from the South and a Muslim from the Southwest will run counter to what they intend to achieve in 2023. And for that, they now have to go to the North and pick what they understand from the Northern Muslim as a core Muslim. So that even if the presidential candidate is a nominal one, they believe that the one from the North is an ardent one. So that if you don't choose, if you had wanted to vote against the party because of the Southwest Muslim, you now go in because they have what they regard as a true Muslim from the North. That's what I think. And just as my colleague has, addressed it properly, it's a matter of choice. When the time comes, you decide where to go. If you want to choose Muslim, that's your choice. If you want to go the other way, that's your choice. We have a choice. But I get worried. Let me join in with, to this ASUU strike again. This guy that called. You see, I keep wondering, what is the government strategy for 2023? 2023 is around the corner. You expect the government by now to be appeasing the populace so that they will support them when the time comes for voting in 2023. But look at the arrogance. Look at the arrogance in what they are doing. They don't care. So Nigerians should get worried. These people may have an agenda, rather an agendum we may not be able to decipher now. Because if not, by this time, the government should be doing things that will make the people like them. This country is not only it's not owned by only the elites or one particular religious group. So you do things that will, have an appeal across the board. So honestly, it worries me. Because, why are you government? Why are you government? You entered an agreement in 2009. You reneged. You met a number of times. You accepted to appease these workers. You still went, a counter to it. And when you know that these lecturers, these students come from different homes, and by so doing, you are cutting across the nation. If I don't have a child in the university now, I may have a lecturer who is related to me, and maybe and these students have been at home for months, 6 months now. You don't care. Look, what kind of educational attainment do you want to have for your country? You see, what worries me is that you look at this nation, some of these our governments, you start wondering, where are we going to? You should have a target. So is our target to have illiterates? To have people who do not, who are not exposed?
Oh.
And when you know that today is knowledge industry that is ruining the whole world.
Questions to ask, especially this present government that we have. But then who will give us the answers to those questions?
We have to buy our minds.
We can only ask.
Yes,
But
we can only ask the
the
questions.
truth of the matter is that President Buhari is playing into the gallery of the Boko Haram philosophy, not to Western education. As far as he's concerned, he's run out of ideas. He's ready to go even now. Only he doesn't have the courage to throw in the towel because he has nothing to offer anymore, not for Nigerians or anybody. He only wants to junket the world, travel at every slightest opportunity and stay out of the trouble in Nigeria. So the Boko Haram philosophy is to reduce Western education, knowledge. And this government appears to be playing into it. And that's why they're not serious to sort this ASUU matter. You have an education minister that has been sick, that is incapable of discharging his duties. You are still retaining him.
All right, quickly, let's go over to the National Star newspaper this morning with the big story there. Senate uncovers mismanagement of 5.7 billion naira by health ministry officials, set to arrest culprits for failure to defend expenditure. 2023, Afenifere declares support for Peter Obi. Pope appoints 7 Onitsha priests as Monsignors designate. Father cries for help as mudslide buries 4 children alive in Cross River. Fire got Afiu market in Ebonyi, destroyed goods worth millions of naira. Okay, these are what we have in front of the National Star newspaper this morning. So, yeah, okay, let's start.
Declare support for Peter Obi. I think Fashoranti and his group, they are reading into the future. Nigeria is at a precipice as we talk today. Nigeria is unable or may become unable in a few months from now to service her debts. Nigeria is battling insecurity. Nigeria is battling poverty. Nigeria is battling students at home, lack of education that powers every nation. So in every sector, Nigeria is in trouble. And the only way to get out of that trouble is to change from the way we have been doing things before. So Peter Obi and Yusuf team, though campaigns will start in September, we are not campaigning, we are just expressing views. Campaign starts officially 28th of September, according to INEC timetable. But for Fashoranti to look at the situation, he's an elder statesman, and it's like a parting gift to this generation that we must begin to do things different from the way we have been doing them if we want different results. If we go for Atiku, we are still doing the old things. If we go for Tinubu, we are still doing the old things. So we must find a way to do something new, to get ourselves out of this logjam.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Tell us your name. Ike Chukwu, go ahead.
Yes, first of all, let me start with the ASUU matter. Every time I hear people sound as if they don't know what is happening in the university sector. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as these Nigerians are concerned, and this trend is uncalled for. ASUU is the problem. I cannot understand why they always calling about the scrap IT. IT is the platform that the whole civil servant sectors that are being used to their salary are coming through. So I cannot understand why it is the only university that we actually talk about to remove a platform that will pay you if your biometrics are captured. Is it not corruption? I cannot understand even some elders why they come and want to defend us. Come and defend corruption. I cannot understand that. We know that these people have been employing their cronies illegally without even interview, without just you will be at home, they will bring appointment letter to you. They will say that there's job opportunity, and they will block the civil servant payroll, and they send to federal government. Meanwhile, they're having few people lecturing and doing the type of university. That is called ghost worker. So I feel, as far as I'm concerned, I feel that they're talking about, they are just trying to fight, bring corruption to come and fight corruption. Federal government is in order in that area. They're talking about people. Sometimes I cannot understand my fellow people. I'm from Anambra State, and I know the tenor of people, how colossal bank that government was. The students, we are increased from 5,000 naira to 5,000 naira, 2010. Insecurity, we are doing our traditional marriage in Abuja everywhere, outside Nigeria. Because of kidnapping, because of bank robbery, broad daylight. The one that migrated from Africa to GDP, and we are saying that it's coming to change. If you left GDP, it's now transformed to cent. If we want to give Nigeria, if we want to produce presidential candidate, it's not this type of man.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. No, please just know that we are not here to insult anybody. Please, just make your point. If you call us, you make your point and go. No insults, please. All right, quickly, let's go over to the next paper. Okay, let me just read out some of the headlines in front of the Punch newspaper before you now talk. The Punch newspaper this morning, Muslim ticket, decision on Shatima final, says Tinubu men. And we have riders there, downplay aggrieved members' defection, complaints over Muslim running mate. As governor, Lagos governor won't rescind his decision to please critics, says Adeyeye. And then up there, federal government meets Ipman Moman fuel to cost more. Inflation, debt pushing Nigeria orders to bring IMF. Banks borrow 593.34 billion naira from CBN in 2 months. Oshunpol Oyetola Adeleke orders sign peace pact. And then we have other stories there, but this is a much we can take in front of the Punch newspaper. So over to you, Emeka.
Yeah. You see, probably I want to talk about the headline on the Sun. The Star, talking about fraud in the Ministry of Health, 7.5 billion. Honestly, I blame the problem of this country on the feet, not on the door, on the feet of our leaders. If you don't have an ambition to make a better leader, everything falters. A leader should be an arrowhead leader. You know the way arrow is. We have some leaders are just arrowheads. Some leaders are funnel head. Funnel. You know the way the funnel is. You know the way arrow is. When you are the arrow leader, you are leading, and others are following. When you are a funnel head leader, the masses are going in front while you are at the back. How can you show direction? You see, 7.5, that is not the only one. It's everywhere. Ndị Igbo selo, okwangasu Igbo. Ndị Igbo say na mmiri bido n'isi gbaloba everywhere. Once a leader is inept, every other follower takes a cue, and you are incapable. 7.5 billion naira. Now, the former deputy national president is having a lot of issues now. Health issues. The doctor is having a lot of health issues in England now. Because we have health challenges in this country. we are not deploying the resources of this country to where they are needed. Now, if we had had good health facilities, probably the man will not be in the kind of mess he is now. If we be having good facilities in our educational institutions, there's no reason why we shall not be a leader. Leading in scientific researches. And ditto for all the areas. So what I'm saying is that the person who made away with that kind of money knows the problem of this country. The leadership is inept. Nothing will happen. So, and I want to, let people understand the issues at stake before they react. The ASUU issue, there's no part of the society that does not have one problem or the other. The ASUU issue, even the Bible says it, that a laborer deserves his wage. Pay them the wage that you think, you agreed to pay them. That's what we are talking about. Even if, no matter what you do, once you are hired, you have entered into a contract with your employer. And the employer owes you that. You see, university system is different from the normal public service. University, they employ people, the people go on sabbatical leave. They do a lot of other things that are not obtainable in the normal civil service. Now, let government look at what they are presenting. If there are areas you cannot fulfill, say so. But not when you have entered into an agreement, you can't implement that. The spirit of that agreement, you don't want to carry. That's what we are talking about. Right. But not that we're really in sympathy with what is happening, but what we are saying is, do what you are supposed to do, as government.
All right, Tony. You've seen what I read out in the Punch newspaper?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I can return my memory, because this ASUU thing has been
okay. You still want to talk? Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
The issue at stake here is we are talking about 200 and something billion. You enter into agreement, you give these people, let the schools get back. We are talking about some group of people, a cartel in Ministry of Health, making away with 7 point something billion. These things happen because every Wednesday they gather in the villa and dish out money to ministries under one guise or the other. And those monies just develop wings and fly away. And this same government finds it difficult to approve 200 billion for ASUU. It's a shame. No matter reasons, no matter what you think is happening within ASUU or what is not happening, we already have brain drain. So many of them are going out there. They're out there making a good living. So if you want your own education system, what I'm even suggesting, if government cannot handle these universities, unbundle them. Let them go. Let them handle themselves. It is this list that says that federal government must handle. When Anambra schools, secondary schools were under the government, all of us witnessed what was going on. And you know what is going on today, that these schools are being managed by themselves. So if the government cannot handle this, don't bundle them. Let the universities run themselves, collect their school fees, run their infrastructure, plan their research, plan their pay for their staff. And let everybody have some peace of mind. That's my take on that.
All right. Let's quickly move over to the Nation newspaper. We are taking the Nation and the Guardian newspaper together. There we have, still in front of the Nation newspaper this morning, governors, Muslim ticket not against Christians. Keredolu Ganduje, Masari dismiss fears as unfounded. Adamu, nothing to worry about. Okay, 165 naira petrol pump price no longer realistic, says marketers. And Dangote, only African on Bloomberg top 100 rich list. 448 jostling for 28 governorship seats. COVID-19 cases rise sharply in July. Buhari, I'm leaving no inheritance for my children. Okay, let's go over to the Guardian newspaper and see what we have there. Bottlenecks worsen vehicles clearance, ease of business. Hundreds of dealers again agents to be thrown out of business. Used cars from China, Europe not captured on VIN system. Dealers fear only Nigerian used vehicles will be in market soon. Lexus, Mercedes-Benz not included in new valuation system. Importers abandon older cars due to unreasonable duties. And then we still have there 90% of technology is powering Nigeria's economy imported, says NOTAP. KUKA prefers solution to voter apathy as Oshun-Guiba gladiators sign peace accord. 165 naira petrol pump price no longer realistic, say major marketers. Over to you, Emeka. Should we start with the pump price of petrol?
I think it's a shame for a country that is a major producer of the raw material to produce a PMS and other petroleum products, to be saying this kind of thing. You see, I said before that all our problems should be laid on the feet of government. Because we have kind of left everything, or even to an extent, even our thinking to the government. So they do the thinking for us. How come a country, the number 6 in the whole world in petroleum, crude oil production, no refinery is working? You are dependent on importation. Just I think a few days ago, it was in the news that Nigeria was going to import liquefied natural gas from Chad and the Niger. What can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? All these desert countries that has endowed at this country. So I think it is a failure. It's a failure of government to even sell a liter of PMS at 165 when we are a major producer of crude oil. So I think it's just, again, I think part of the problem we are having is that we seem to swallow everything that they told us. We seem to swallow everything. If the people are showing that this is our country, this is our product, we are entitled to a better deal, things will be better. So the pump price is adjusting the pump price is.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Tell us your name.
Yes, I'm calling. My name is Thomas.
Thomas from where?
I'm calling from Benue State.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Yes, am I speaking with ABS, Oka?
Yes, ABS TV.
The TV section.
Yes, ABS TV.
Am I right?
You are right. This is ABS TV,
Okay.
Yes,
I greet you, the presenter, and I greet all the guests that are speaking with you.
All right. Good morning to you
I want
too.
to speak on the Muslim ticket that is causing commotion in the country today. The presidential candidate of all progressive party says he wants to go Muslim. The party say they want to go Muslim. It is a very big challenge. That is their choice. If the citizens, that this administration, the APC administration has done well, that this administration has done well, number of Christians in Nigeria, the total number of the lecturers, the students in Nigeria, the workers that the government has refused to pay. If we are enjoying this administration, it is true that elections are characterized by manipulation. If we feel that this administration has done well, it is next year that people should tell them that they have failed us woefully. Nigeria is number 6, one of the oil-producing states. Look at, we are carrying our crude oil to other countries to refine and return back the petroleum products to Nigeria.
Okay, so quickly, just summarize your point. Summarize your points.
Discovered, stolen, it's not millions, billions. And the law enforcement agents who are entitled, who are empowered to punish the offenders, they kept quiet. By the time what you know is that within 1 week, 2 weeks, this man has been released. This man is complaining of...
Are you listening to me?
And he will be given an opportunity to travel. You see, if this...
Okay, please, if you want to call us, just summarize your point. Just go straight to the point because others are waiting and we still have other papers to analyze this morning. All right, quickly, let's go over to This Day newspaper and then the Daily Trust. We are taking both together. This Day newspaper and Daily Trust is still about the Muslim ticket at Damu. Christians have nothing to fear. Muslim ticket reflects Nigeria's reality, says it's an act of God. Faith aside, work stops on President's table, Akeredolu maintains. And then up there, Ganduje replies Lawal, says no compulsion in religion. Momen advocates gradual removal of petrol subsidy to minimize resultant shock, insists policy not sustainable and killing businesses. UN, Nigeria not on track to attaining sustainable development goals. Now over to the Daily Trust newspaper. VP slot, how Baba Chair's panel recommended Shetima, 10 others to Tinubu. Grace Bent subcommittee offered advisory on running mate to campaign DG. SSGF confirms chairing panel distances self from recommendations. APC chair defends Muslim ticket, says the APC will win Osun poll. Major petrol marketers dump official rate and sell for 185 naira per litre in Abuja and Kano. And we can see that picture there is a meter, yes. And then we have down there Plateau, Fulani and Ingwe signed a peace pact. Police returned 5 million naira to robbery victim in Plateau State. Over to you, Tony.
We're still talking about the Muslim ticket. Some people are saying there's no problem. If there's no problem, we won't be discussing it. I think, I don't want to overflog that, but the campaign organization definitely will have to pay the price for the decisions they make. So I leave that to the voters like I've done before. On the fuel pump price, Nigerians are laid back. They are laid back. They are cowed. They are behaving as if the decisions of government do not affect them, yet it's affecting all of us. You wake up in the morning, the pump price is changed. You don't ask questions. You go ahead, you buy. I mean, that should not be the attitude. I remember when fuel was raised from, I think, 3.50 to something. The late Professor Acha Ndubisi, may his soul rest in peace, of University of Nigeria. So I saw him at Ezekiel carrying his briefcase, walking. I said, Professor, what is going on? He said he's going home. I said, why are you not driving? He said he's not driving because of the increase. 50 kobo increase in pump price. Those were times when people know the ripple effect of these little things on the economy. We have an economy that has been stretched to the limit. We have people who cannot feed every day except they do certain things. And they need to move using buses to do such things. If you enter buses, you will be shocked at what is happening. Some people have 300 naira to take them to their destination. When they enter the bus says 250. So they will check, can we go there? Can I go there and come back? Yet they want to. So Nigerians, it's like we have given this government free tickets to do whatever they like, and that's what they are doing to us. Except we rise, it will remain the same way until this government is over.
Hello, good morning. Hello. Please reduce the volume on your radio, on your TV set rather.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and your location quickly.
My name is Michael.
Michael from where?
From Chemistry.
Go ahead, Michael. Quickly. Gabaniru.
Hello? Hello?
Gabaniru. Okay, I'm not sure you you are watching ABS this morning. Yeah, I remember press review this morning, so I don't know what you're really talking about. But quickly, let's move over to the papers that we have. We have the Daily Independent, we have the Tribune, and then the Telegraph. So we are taking all together. Let's see what we have in front of the Daily Independent this morning. Petrol price unsustainable, marketers insist. Buhari tax used to educate themselves to overcome poverty. That is what we have in front of the Daily Independent. New Telegraph, bandits released over 70 out of 136 pupils after 89 days in captivity. And then we still have the Nigerian Tribune talking about Oshinguba Okowa Tambuwal in crucial talks with Oyinola and others. So quickly before we go, from Emeka, let's see what we can achieve. The three papers that I read, I'll just speak on one quickly before we leave. Talking about bandits that were released, 70 out of 136 people were released.
I wouldn't want to be associated as being insightful, but all we have been saying is failure. All we've been noticing is failure of government in all sectors, in all ramifications. Talking about bandits being released after about 3 months and stuff like that, in a place where we have soldiers. We are not at war, so to speak, and yet soldiers are not effective. The police seem to be overwhelmed. The civil defense, although their own schedule is different, but they are still in the security, sector. Then you talk about the Directorate of State, what do you call it, DSS, and all that. You see, everywhere you have security operatives, and yet we're having all these problems.
All right.
I'm talking about failure of government.
It's all right. We want to say a very big thank you to both of you for joining us this morning. Tony, thank you so much for coming on the Mecca. We really appreciate you for joining us this morning. Well, that's it on Press Review. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going on a short break. When we come back, we'll see you at the other side. Stay with us.